Okay. So good afternoon, dear students. How are you all doing? Fine, I believe. Come on, everybody. Come on. Okay. So friends, our last class that was basically pertaining to chapter 7, you could say public finance. I told you that it is divided into four parts. First part, fiscal function. Last class, we have completed it. Second class is today. And what are we going to discuss in the second class? Friends, we are going to discuss about market failure. What are we going to discuss about? We are going to discuss about market failure that comes under the obvious head public finance only. This head is also very interesting. Again, you will have to make notes of the same. Otherwise, it will become too lengthy for an MCQ exam. Okay. So try to take notes along with me only. Okay. So here we go. Question is, what is market failure? I'll teach you what is market failure. Friends, in very simple terms, बहुत ही आसान शब्दों में, market failure means a situation where in an economy either there is overproduction or underproduction. बस जब भी इकोनॉमी में एक ऐसा सिचुएशन होता है कि जितना जरूरत है रिसोर्सेस का या गुड्स का, उससे ज्यादा गुड्स का प्रोडक्शन हो जाए या उससे कम गुड्स का प्रोडक्शन हो जाए, वो दोनों केसेस को मिस एलोकेशन ऑफ रिसोर्सेस बोलते हैं और बेसिकली मार्केट फेलियर बोलते हैं. तो मार्केट फेलियर इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड मिस एलोकेशन ऑफ रिसोर्सेस. सो सिचुएशन वेर इन द रिसोर्सेज हैव बीन मिस एलोकेटेड so far so as to produce the impact of either underproduction or overproduction, so far as to create the impact of underproduction or overproduction. Hence the term market failure. Hence the term market failure. Is that clear, everybody? Yes or no? Come on, guys. Okay. Yes, yes, Ansh, you are correct. Yes, Ansh, you are correct. Since, for each topic, we have been assigned a single class, right? For each topic, ICAI has announced me a single class. So accordingly, whatever is the most important, I'll take that up, because otherwise it is 40 to 50 pages. So even if I read 40 to 50 pages in a single class, that would not be possible. Okay. So we are doing only the most important and yes, the relevant part. Okay, correct. Yes. So what is market failure? Let's write down. Situation. What is market failure? Situation in which free market situation in which free market leads to misallocation of resources. Situation in which free market leads to misallocation of resources such that there is, number one, either underproduction, such that there is underproduction. Number two, overproduction, or I should say or, such that there is underproduction or overproduction, leading to a less than optimal outcome. 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 You understand? So friends, what is it? Public finance or market failure is a situation in which free market leads to misallocation of resources. That is, resources are misallocated in a sense such that there is either underproduction or overproduction, leading to less than optimal outcome. Leading to less than optimal outcome. Leading to less than optimal outcome. Is that clear, friends? Yes or no? Is that clear, friends? Yes or no? Come on. Very good. Friends, note it down even. I will read it for you. situation in which free market leads to misallocation of resources such that there is underproduction or overproduction leading to a less than optimal outcome. Hopefully it's crystal clear, everyone. Very, very good. Very, very good. All right, let's go. Now, friends, another important question, and this is going to be the rest of the discussion of the day. This is going to be the rest of the day, discussion for the day. Why does it take place? I mean, they're trying to ask is reasons for market failure. What they're trying to ask is reasons for market failure. Why does the market fail? Reasons for market failure. So the question is very simple. Why does the market fail? I repeat, the question is very simple. Why does the market fail? Okay, sir. Less than optimal outcome. Yes, good question. Sir, what is the meaning of less than optimal outcome? मतलब जो बेस्ट हो सकता था उससे कुछ कम हुआ. Whatever best could have happened, slightly less than that or sufficiently less than that. So basically, you have not achieved the main objective. Optimal outcome has not been achieved. Means you have not suited the best combination or you have not achieved the best result possible. You have not achieved the best result possible. That's it. Full stop. Situation in which free market leads to misallocation of resources such that there is underproduction or overproduction leading to a less than optimal outcome. Hopefully, I have explained it to you sufficiently good enough. Is that clear, guys? Come on. Okay. Now, reasons for market failure. Friends, reasons for market failure. Number one, why does the market fail? The question is, why does the market fail? The question is very simple. Why does the market fail? Number one, there are four main reasons. Number one is market power. This is going to be the discussion for rest of the class today. Market power. Market power, or you could also say monopoly. Monopoly you have heard, so you will better understand this. Market power or monopoly power. Externalities. Another word we have discussed, but today we are going to discuss in a lot of details. Externalities. Third one is, by the way, externalities we did in this GDP as a welfare. Can GDP be used as a welfare? There we discussed yes or no, if you remember. Whatever it is. Next is public goods. Public goods. And finally, dear students, it's incomplete information. It's incomplete information. Incomplete information. It's incomplete information. So we can start right away if you all tell. Okay, let's go. Reasons for market failure. So question is reasons for market failure. Number one, market power. Number two, externalities. Number three, public goods. And number four, incomplete information. Number four, incomplete information. So these are the reasons behind market failure. Each one of them we will now talk and let's, discuss each one of them. So number one is market power or monopoly power. If all of you are not listening to this portion, friends, you will not understand. So please pay attention, everybody here. Okay. Number one is market power. Market power, also called as monopoly power. Market power, or also called monopoly power. Market power or monopoly power. What is this power, sir? See, there is always cost of making a product. There is always marginal cost of making a product. You all know what marginal cost means. In microeconomics, you have studied the cost of making one extra commodity. The cost of making one extra commodity is marginal cost. एक extra unit बनाने का जो खर्चा होता है उसे marginal cost कहते हैं. अब मोनोपोली पावर ये कहता है या मार्केट पावर ये कहता है, व्हाट मोनोपोली पावर टेल्स इज दैट अ फर्म हैज द एबिलिटी, अ मोनोपोलिस्ट फर्म हैज द एबिलिटी टू रेज द प्राइस ऑफ अ प्रोडक्ट. दैट इज मार्केट पावर. सो लेट्स राइट, मार्केट पावर मीन्स द एबिलिटी, the ability the ability of a firm to raise the price of a good or service over its marginal cost, over its marginal cost, over its marginal cost. The ability of a firm to raise the price of a good or a service over its marginal cost. The ability of a firm to raise the price of a good or a service over its marginal cost. Is that clear, everybody? Yes, sir, that's clear. But now the question is, what are its adverse impacts? Adverse means bad impacts. Adverse means bad impacts of having such power, of having such power. Number one, first of all, the number one problem such markets will face is that there will be a problem of higher prices. That in such markets, higher prices will prevail. This is number one adverse impact. This is number one adverse impact. Sir, what is adverse impact number two? Sir, what is adverse impact number two? Friends, lower output will be produced. Why? Why lower output? Friends, because there is single producer. So if you compare it to where there are multiple producers, obviously here the output level is going to be low. Lower means lesser. Lower means lesser output. Why? Because only single producer is there. As I told you now, this is market power or monopoly power. And finally, everyone, non-existence of markets. Sir, we did not understand this much. What have you told? Non-existing existence of markets? That is, various goods and services will be lacking. Why various goods and services lacking? Variety is lacking. You know why? Because only one producer is producing. So there might not be as much as variety had there been if there would have been many producers or many players in the market. So these are the adverse impacts: higher prices, lower output, non-existence of markets. So sir, how is it an adverse impact? I will tell you. Normally what happens, suppose you go to a fruit vendor. अब इसको सुनना. Now listen to what I am saying very carefully. Suppose you get to a fruit vendor. Suppose you are going to buy a piece of banana. So now when you go and ask for banana, let's say they tell you 100 rupees a dozen. Maybe they tell you 100 rupees a dozen, suppose. Now, if they tell you 100 rupees a dozen, you may immediately say that you are overcharging because the guy next to you is already ready to sell me at 95 a kg, 95 a dozen, 95 a dozen. So why are you able to say that? Because there are multiple producers. So you know that the price should be around 95. If somebody is asking for 120, they are fooling you. So there will be no information failure, because you will soon be able to know, because there are many producers in the market. But here, markets are non-existent. Non-existence of markets. Markets are non-existence, meaning since there are not multiple producers, so there is no price point only. So that you know that what is the actual price that should have been charged for this commodity. And therefore, this is one of the adverse impacts. And finally, its outcome, Outcome of higher market power would be prices will increase and output will be low. So there will be demand and supply mismatch. There will be demand and supply mismatch. Okay. Outcome effect. Outcome effect. Market power can cause markets to be inefficient. Can cause markets to be inefficient because it keeps price higher, because it keeps price higher and output lower, and output lower, then the outcome of equilibrium, then the outcome of equilibrium of demand and supply, then the outcome of equilibrium of demand and supply. So the outcome effect is market power can cause markets to be inefficient because it keeps price higher and output lower than the outcome of equilibrium of demand and supply. Market power can cause markets to be inefficient because it keeps price higher and output lower than the outcome of equilibrium of demand and supply. Then the outcome of equilibrium of demand and supply. So outcome effect is market power can cause markets to be inefficient. Why? Because it keeps price higher and output lower. Because why? Because it keeps price higher and output lower than the outcome of equilibrium of demand and supply. Then the outcome of equilibrium of demand and supply. So it keeps price higher and output lower. Hopefully it's crystal clear to everybody. Come on, everyone. So there are three adverse impact. Number one, prices will increase, output will reduce, and markets will be non-existent. Why market will be non-existent? Because market generally tend to exist when there are multiple producers and variety of goods and services. But there will be no such variety because there is only one producer. There will not be multiple producers, as this is monopoly power we are talking about. ओके, सो हिंदी में अगर मैं बताऊं तो मार्केट पावर का अर्थ होता है मोनोपोली पावर. ये वो पावर होता है, उसके पास होता है जो इंडस्ट्री में एक अकेला पर्सन रहता है बिजनेस करने वाला. ठीक है, तो इसके सिनेरियो में होता यूं है कि ये इंसान जब चाहे प्राइसेस बढ़ा सकता है और आउटपुट घटा सकता है. तो ये इंपैक्ट होता है इस चीज का. और अल्टीमेट आउटकम जो होता है, अल्टीमेट आउटकम जो होता है वो मार्केट इनएफिशिएंट होता है. क्यों? बिकॉज प्राइसेस हमेशा हाई रहेंगे, आउटपुट हमेशा कम रहेगा. तो डिमांड और सप्लाई का इक्विलिब्रियम कभी भी अचीव ही नहीं होगा. तो डिमांड एंड सप्लाई का इक्विलिब्रियम कभी भी अचीव नहीं होगा. खत्म बात. Hopefully it's crystal clear, everybody. Come on, everyone. Come on, everyone. Right, sir. Right, sir. And all that I have written is from your ICAI study mat only. All that I have written is from your ICAI study mat only. Just remember that study mat you will have to read. But the class of this purpose is not to do word-to-word analysis of study mat. Okay? Because study mat is one thing and the class that I am getting is one class. So accordingly, I will have to compile everything in a single class. So please try to listen what I am saying, because in MCQs, concepts and concept knowledge will be important. That will be number one, conceptual knowledge. So please pay attention. So what is market failure? Situation in which free market leads to misallocation of resources. That is, there is either underproduction of resources or overproduction of resources. Okay. Why does market failure take place? There are four main, listen to the words carefully that I am using. Four main reasons for market failure: market power, externality, public goods, and incomplete information. Okay. Market power, the ability of a firm to raise the price of a good or a service over its marginal cost. The ability of a firm to raise the price of a good or a service over its marginal cost. Adverse impacts: higher prices, lower output, non-existence of markets, and outcome: market power can cause markets to be inefficient. Why? Because it keeps prices higher and output lower than the outcome of equilibrium of demand and supply. Hopefully it's clear. So friends, guess what? First one is over. That is, market power is gone. Now we are going to talk about externalities. Now we are going to talk about externalities. 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 See, as I had told you, I will remind again. Be it the consumer, be it the consumer, or be it the producer, be it the consumer or be it the producer, their actions. Whose action? Consumers or producers? Whose action? Consumers or producers? Their actions may positively or negatively affect the society. That is, they can be cost or they can be a benefit. Cost means negative, benefit means positive. Cost means negative, benefit means positive. Write down in the chat. Cost means negative, benefit means positive. Cost means negative, benefit means positive. Write down in the chat, everybody. I am waiting. Okay, let's go. When the actions, when the actions of either consumers, when the actions of either consumers or producers, when the actions of either consumers or producers results in costs or benefits, results in costs or benefits that do not reflect as a part of market price, because they are not included. The costs are not added in market prices, or benefits are not deducted from market prices, or benefits are not added to market prices and costs are not deducted from market prices. Understood? So that do not reflect in the market prices, that do not reflect in market prices. They can be cost or they can be benefits. Cost is negative, benefit is positive, and it can be the action of either consumer or producer. Sir, will you give us the example? Yes. Yes, I will give you an example. So it is not compensated by the parties. It is not compensated by the parties. Sir, what does that mean? It is not compensated by the parties. I will give you an example. Don't worry. Suppose a teacher is teaching and students are shouting in the class. So the teacher is facing negative externality from the consumers. Who is the consumer? The students. When the children are continuously talking or the students are continuously talking, the teacher is unable to teach properly, and so teacher is facing negative externality. But are the students compensating it? No. Students are not paying the teacher for disturbing the teacher. Are you understanding? That is, it is not compensated by parties. Means the parties that are causing negative externalities are not paying the one facing the negative externalities, or the parties receiving the positive externality, that is the benefits. Now, for example, the students are very good. They are listening to the teacher very well. So teacher is facing positive externality. Now the teacher is not going to pay the student for supplying this positive externality. So therefore, there is no compensation. for negative or positive externalities by any party. Is so far clear, everyone? Yes, sir, it's clear. Acha. Now let me tell you one more thing. There are other names for the word externalities. I did not tell you in the previous classes. Now I will tell you. Other terms for externalities. There are other terms for externalities. Sir, what are the other terms for externalities? Number one, spillover effects. Number one is the spillover effects. Number two is the neighborhood effects. Neighborhood effects. Number three is the third party effects. And number four is the side effects. These are other name for the same term externality. Other terms, spill over, neighborhood, third party, or side effects. I hope it's crystal clear to everyone. Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Externality topic is not over. It is still going on. It's just that so far it's over. Is this clear, everyone? Okay, let's go. Now, friends, what I was telling you is that externalities, they may be you'll pay attention. Externalities may be unidirectional. Externalities may be unidirectional or they may be reciprocal. Externalities may be unidirectional or they may be reciprocal. They may be unidirectional or they may be reciprocal. Sir, unidirectional matlab one-sided. One-sided. Reciprocal is two-sided. Sir, please try and explain this to us. Definitely I will do. So as I was telling, the unidirectional. Students causing noise in the class. Suppose, for example, students causing noise in the class, disturbing the teacher. So teacher facing negative externality. This is one-sided. This is one-sided because students are providing negative externality to the teacher. But suppose the teacher complains it to the school management and the school management suspends the students or deducts 20 marks of each student, then that is two-sided. One-sided was what? That the students were imposing negative externality on the teacher. That's it. What is two-sided? Students imposing negative externality on the teacher, and to the contrary, the teacher imposing fine, penalty, or something on the students. So both-sided negative externality. I hope now you understand. I hope now you are sure. Come on, everybody. Because from macro portion, institute will be asking conceptual questions. Conceptual question requires two things. I told you in the first class of economics that I had taken. Macro is different from micro. If you want to do well in macro, there are two steps to it. Number one, attend the classes daily on time regularly. Number one. And number two, after each class, study the full institute material. That is the secret sauce. Okay, let's go. Right, sir. So now unidirectional and one-sided see. So originator means provider of externality. Originator imposes costs or benefits on the other party. Costs or benefits on the other party. Now, both parties here, both parties impose costs or benefits on each other. Impose costs or benefits on each other. Hence the word reciprocal. Unidirectional is one-sided, reciprocal is two-sided. Unidirectional is one-sided, reciprocal is two-sided. I am sure you have understood it. Unidirectional matlab ek tarfa, reciprocal matlab do tarfa. Is that clear, everyone? So here I could say example, students making noise, and here students making noise and teacher imposing penalty on them. Teacher imposing penalty on them. Bus. I hope it's clear. So externality may be both unidirectional and reciprocal, one-sided as well as two-sided. First, note it down before I start any further. Come on, everyone. Please note this down. Come on, everyone. Okay, now. See, externality, as I had told you already, externality can be both positive, that is beneficial, or negative, that is a cost. Now, externality can be both in production and consumption. Externality can be both in production and consumption. So there can be two things here. Positive, it can be at the time of production. So there can be positive production externality, or there can be positive consumption externality. Similarly, there can be negative production externality, or there can be negative consumption externality. Negative consumption externality. Okay, there can be production or there can be consumption. I hope it's clear to everyone. Come on, guys. Very good. So I repeat, production positive is benefit and negative basically is obviously harmful. Externality. So now let's talk about each one of them. First, the definition. Okay. Here, social cost is less than private cost. Social cost is less than private cost. Social cost means societal cost is less than private cost. Because it is from the point of production, so we are using the word cost. But if it was from the point of consumption, we would have told benefit. Social benefit is more than private benefit. Is more than private benefit. Sir, can you give example? This way we will not understand. Okay, I'll definitely give you an example. Okay. Okay. Production. Suppose there is a firm. Suppose there is a firm. Any firm, XYZ Limited. Suppose there is a firm, XYZ Limited. Suppose there is a firm, XYZ Limited. This firm is involved in production. There is a firm named XYZ Limited, XYZ Private Limited. Now, this firm is providing training to workers. Repeat the example. This firm is providing training to workers. Okay. Suppose the workers are, suppose XYZ Private Limited is in the leather manufacturing sector. Leather manufacturing means raw material is leather, and using that they manufacture bags, let's say. So bags manufacturing center or factory. This much is clear. Now, friends, try to think that if the workers are trained, hello, if the workers are trained, what did I say? If the workers are trained, what did I say? If the workers are trained, if the workers are trained, if the workers are trained by the organization, then when these workers go to some other organization, these other organizations will benefit. So the training provided by one firm is going to benefit the other firms around. That is called positive production externality, because we have provided, the producer has provided some benefit to the worker in the form of producing goods and services, and this has resulted benefit for all the other firms in the industry. Is this clear? Positive production externality, is that clear? Come on, everyone. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, firm providing training to its workers, because it is providing, that's why it is at the time of production, because it is providing training. So it is production. It is production service. It is production of service. Firm providing training to its workers benefits other firms, benefits other firms. When workers join them, when workers join them, when workers join them, when workers join them, when workers join them. I hope it's clear. Can I move on to the next point, dear students? Yes, sir. So this we have understood. Now we will study consumption benefit. What? Consumption benefit. Sir, can you give an example? Okay. Suppose a person is taking care of their garden around the house. They are keeping the garden very beautiful. So when others are passing by the garden, they are taking this view and they are enjoying this view. This is wild consumption, as they are seeing the garden and they are consuming, enjoying the garden. So it's like a consumption positive externality. So an individual, or I could say some more example. I could say some more example. Yes, Virat Kohli is playing a cover drive. All of us love seeing Virat Kohli play that cover drive, or Rohit Sharma hitting that pull shot. When we see that, or when we consume that content of Virat Kohli hitting a cover drive or Rohit Sharma hitting a pull shot, when we see that content, when we consume that content, we enjoy that. That is while consumption. Hence, benefit is more. Hence, benefit is more. Okay. Benefit means benefit to the society. Because see, Virat Kohli has hit a six. That has increased his milestone. But social benefit, our country, India in total, has become happy. So social benefit is more than that person's benefit. That is why it is a consumption externality. I am sure you have understood this. I am sure you have understood this. Or you could say individual raising garden. That is also fine example. Individual raising garden. Individual raising attractive garden makes the passerby passers-by happy. Those who are passing by the garden happy. This is consumption positive externality. Consumption positive externality. Production, I told, when the firm has provided training to its workers. Now other firms will be happy because when these workers leave the original firm and join them, they will not have to provide training. So that is the production and that is the consumption. Is that clear, everyone? Understood? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Is that clear, everyone? So here it is. I'll read it out. Production externality, where the social cost is less than the private cost. So I told that firm providing training to its workers benefit other firms when workers join them. And here I told consumption, social benefit is more than private benefit. Individual raising attractive garden worker, garden makes the passers-by happy. Is that clear, everybody? Yes or no? Okay, great. Now here in production we talk about again. We are continuing this in the next page, okay? As the space is limited, I'll continue this in the next page. First of all, you all note this much down and then I'll continue in the next page. First, have you noted it down? If done or taken screenshot, then write down done so that I can proceed. Because when we produce, we incur cost. When we produce, we incur cost. When we consume, we have benefit. That is why in production we have written cost. And you see what I have written. Social cost is less than private cost. So suppose an individual has incurred 10 lakhs in training of workers, but the society which would have had to train these workers, had the firm not trained, then the society would have to incur 20 lakhs to train those workers. Because the firm has trained them for 10 lakhs, society का 20 लाख रुपया बच गया. तो society को तो खुशी हुआ ना. खुशी दो केसेस में होता है. Externality happens in two cases. Number one, when we receive directly a positive benefit in the form of income, or number two, when our costs are reduced compared to the prior ages. Both are externalities. पैसे का न जाना भी तो पैसे का आना होता है और पैसे का आना तो पैसे का आना होता ही है. पर पैसे का न जाना, खर्चे का कम हो जाना भी तो पैसे का वापस आ जाना होता है. हाँ ना बोलिए. Yes sir, that's clear. Very very good. Very very good. Now negative production and consumption we are discussing in the next page. Negative. Negative production and consumption. All right, let's go. Negative production and consumption. Now we are talking about negative because there was no space here. I am writing it here. Okay, now pay attention, everyone. When is positive, production in production, when we talk about production, now we are talking about negative production externality. Here, social cost is more than private cost. Social cost is more than private cost. And here, social benefit is less than private benefit. Is less than private benefit. Is less than private benefit. Now tell me. Now tell me. Okay, so let's go. Sir, now, sir, example, please. See. Yes, sir, we are listening. Yes, sir, we are listening. Now, suppose an aluminium factory. Suppose an aluminium factory discharges waste. Discharges waste into nearby river. Into nearby river or sea. Into nearby water body. It will affect both the producers. Sir, how will it affect the producers? As the fish output will fall because the fishes will die. So the fish output will fall. So it will affect the producers as well as it will affect the consumers. How, sir? Sir, how will it affect the consumers, sir? Sir, how will it affect the consumers, sir? Arey Baba, it's very easy. It will affect the consumers because now the consumers won't be able to use that water. Users of river water will not be able to use. And why this externality negative took place? Because of production by the aluminium factory. Because of production by the aluminium factory and thereby discharge into the nearby river. Is that clear, everyone? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it, sir. And here, example. And here, example. Let's go. Suppose in consumption, in consumption. Suppose if students are talking and disturbing in class, if suppose students are talking and discussing in class or basically disturbing, students are talking and disturbing, will prevent the teacher, will prevent the teacher for teaching effectively, from teaching effectively. Will the teacher be able to teach effectively? Will prevent the teacher from teaching effectively. Will prevent the teacher from teaching effectively. Exactly. That, my dear friends, is basically what we call as negative or consumption. Negative or consumption. Is that clear, everyone? Yes or no? Is that clear, everyone? Yes or no? Come on, everyone. Here, social benefit is less than private benefit. Is that clear, everyone? I'll read it for you all both. Negative production externalities when social cost is more than private cost. Example, aluminium factory discharges waste into nearby water and therefore the producers as well as the consumers are affected. Here, consumption. Social benefit is less than private benefit. Example, students are talking and disturbing will prevent the teacher from teaching in a good way, in an effective way. That is what we are discussing here. I am 100% sure you have understood. So far, so good. Is that clear, everyone? Yes or no? Come on, everyone. Very good. Is that clear, everybody? Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go, everyone. Come on, guys. Now I will define for you what is private cost and what is public cost. Okay, so that there is no confusion. All right, so that there is no confusion. Let's go, everyone. Private cost. You all can write it with me. Privacy. Private cost means the cost that an individual has to bear, be it an individual consumer or an individual producer, a company, a firm. Got it? But talks about an individual. Okay. Cost faced, cost faced by producer or consumer directly involved, directly involved in transaction, directly involved in transaction. I'll give you an example. Directly involved in transaction. So suppose private cost is the cost faced by the producer or consumer directly involved in transaction. Example, students, you can say, suppose you buy a packet of cigarette. Okay. So if you buy a packet of cigarette, because you are going to consume that cigarette, because you are going to smoke that cigarette, that is your private cost. Whatever amount you pay rupees X for it. That is your private cost. So private cost comprises everyone. Private cost comprises direct cost of labor, materials, and other indirect overheads and other indirect overheads. That is, my dear students, private cost. That is, my dear students, private cost. Got it? But now what is social cost? But now what is social cost? Social cost is equals to, guys, private cost plus external cost. प्राइवेट कॉस्ट प्लस एक्सटर्नल कॉस्ट, प्राइवेट कॉस्ट प्लस एक्सटर्नल कॉस्ट, प्राइवेट कॉस्ट प्लस एक्सटर्नल कॉस्ट. So friends, I repeat, social cost is private cost plus external cost. Sir, we did not understand. Now, you were smoking. Suppose you paid rupees 100 for the cigarette. That is kind of your private cost. But as a result of this, the people near you, that is the people in your immediate neighborhood, they were also forced to smoke passively as they were sitting near you. They had health problems. Let's say, suppose, so they had to pay, suppose, rupees 500 doctor's fee for checkup. That is kind of external cost. So the total social cost in the above example is 100 of cigarette that you were paying and 500 which society, people in the society had to bear because of the throat infection or whatever they had to suffer, or the lung infection that they had to suffer. So total social cost is 600. Though I agree, this is just an hypothetical scenario, just to translate the idea very clearly to you. Hopefully it's clear, everybody, yes or no? Very good. So friends, let me read it for you. Private cost, cost faced by producers. I will read it out for you. Cost faced by producers or consumers directly involved in transaction. Private cost comprises direct cost of labor, material, and other indirect overheads. Social cost is private cost plus external cost. Smoking, rupees 100 cigarette is a private cost. The neighborhood, people in the neighborhood were forced to smoke passively and therefore they developed some, let's say, asthma, some kind of breathing problem for which the health checkup was 500. So total social cost is private cost of 100 plus external cost of 500, which is 600. I hope it's crystal clear to everybody. Come on, everyone. Now if I translate it into Hindi, प्राइवेट कॉस्ट का मतलब है जो एक इंसान को खर्चा लगता है. सर, एक इंसान को जो खर्चा लगता है, मान लीजिए सिगरेट खरीदने का, वो प्राइवेट कॉस्ट है. पर उसकी वजह से सोसाइटी में जो लोगों को तकलीफ होती है, उसकी वजह से वो लोग को डॉक्टर के पास चेकअप कराने को जाता है या दवाई लेना पड़ता है, उस चीज का खर्चा एक्सटर्नल कॉस्ट कहलाता है. तो जब आप वो 100 रुपया जो एक इंडिविजुअल का सिगरेट खरीदने का खर्चा लगा और 500 जो सोसाइटी का खर्चा लगा उस इंडिविजुअल की वजह से, जब आप जोड़ दें तो आपको मिलता है सोशल कॉस्ट 600 रुपया. उम्मीद है क्लियर होगा. आगे बात करते हैं. वंस इट्स क्लियर, आप लोग बताइए हाँ या ना. एवरीवन, शैल वी प्रोसीड? नाउ फ्रेंड्स, 2 points we have clear. So I'll give you 5 to 6 minutes break and then we will start talking from there. Meanwhile, anybody having doubts can feel free to ask me, because we have done two things. I told you, na, we are discussing reason for market failure. So two we have done. Number one was market power. Number two is externality. Now we will move to public goods. Now we will move to public goods. Third heading is public goods. But for before that, I am giving 5 minutes break. Meantime, any logical question you have, please ask. Yes, Divya, you can take that example. You are correct. लिया जा सकता है दिव्या वो एग्जांपल, बिल्कुल. फैक्ट्री स्मोक अफेक्टिंग द सोसाइटी, वेरी गुड एग्जांपल, करेक्ट है. एक्सटर्नलिटी मतलब वो फायदे या नुकसान, एक्सटर्नलिटी मतलब वो फायदे या नुकसान जो सोसाइटी को झेलना पड़ता है एक इंडिविजुअल की वजह से. एक फैक्ट्री कोई प्रोडक्ट बना रही है, उसका खर्चा लग रहा है, बट वो फैक्ट्री की वजह से जो पोल्यूशन हो रहा है उसकी वजह से बाकी लोगों को भी तकलीफ हो रही है सराउंडिंग में, जो बाकी लोगों को तकलीफ हो रही है उसको बोलते हैं नेगेटिव एक्सटर्नैलिटी। पर मान लीजिए वही फैक्ट्री बगल में गार्डन बना रहा होता तो बाकी लोगों को खुशी होती, तो वो होता पॉजिटिव एक्सटर्नैलिटी। तो एक्सटर्नैलिटी का मतलब होता है किसी एक प्रोडक्शन या कंजम्पशन की वजह से और क्या इनडायरेक्ट इफेक्ट्स आ रहा है, वो एक्सटर्नैलिटी है। फायदा हुआ तो पॉजिटिव, नुकसान हुआ तो नेगेटिव। ओरिजिनेटर मतलब जो प्रोवाइडर है। अगर एक इंडस्ट्री गुड्स बना रही है तो वो ओरिजिनेटर है। एक पर्सन स्मोक कर रहा है तो वो ओरिजिनेटर है। Yes, guys, 4 minutes break is going on. Only those who have doubts. I am not teaching anything new. Only those who have doubts, I am taking those doubts. I am not teaching anything new for the next 4 to 5 minutes at all. Next doubt. Next doubt, please. Spillover effect is nothing. Externality का दूसरा नाम है spillover effect. You are drinking coffee. आप कॉफी पी रहे हो. You are drinking coffee. You are enjoying coffee. वो कॉफी गिर गया. पी रहे थे, मजा तो आपको आ रहा था, बट जब कॉफी गिरा तो सबको तकलीफ हुआ क्योंकि सबके कपड़े गंदे हुए आसपास। एक्सटर्नैलिटी भी तो वही होता है। प्राइवेट कॉस्ट इज एनीथिंग, प्रोडक्शन बाय द फर्म एक प्राइवेट कॉस्ट का एग्जांपल है। प्रोडक्शन बाय अ फर्म इज अ एग्जांपल ऑफ प्राइवेट कॉस्ट। यू बाय सम गुड्स, दैट इज अ प्राइवेट कॉस्ट। लोअर आउटपुट इन मार्केट पावर, लोअर आउटपुट, लोअर आउटपुट इन मार्केट पावर मीन्स that the firm who is producing may reduce output to raise prices. That is lower output. So friends, now we are going to talk about public goods. No compensation का मतलब, meaning of no compensation is, suppose somebody is smoking a cigarette around you. Because of that cigarette, you have some problem, some breathing problem. Will that person pay you money? You have some problem because of that person smoking cigarette. Will they pay you money? That is called not compensated. Come on, everybody. So guys, we'll start in 2 more minutes. I'm just waiting for rest of you to come back. If you have come back from the break, just write it down. We have come back from the break so that I can start talking about public goods. Okay, let's go. So now when we talk about public goods, first of all, what is public goods? Anything which all of us collectively use. The park, the roads, the bridges, all these are public goods. All of us can wait in the bus stand, can sit in the bus stand. That is a public good. What is a public good? That is beneficial for all. The playground in your locality. The playground in your locality is a public good. So let's talk about this. Let's differentiate. You all can write it down with me. And I remind you, my objective is to prepare you for MCQs. So see, private goods. By the way, private goods are also called market goods. Private goods are also called market goods. Private goods are also called market goods. And then you have public goods. And then you have public goods, which you also called consumption or social goods. Which you also called consumption or social goods. Consumption or social goods. Number one is the concept. So private goods are also called market goods. Public goods are also called consumption or social goods. Okay, let's go now. Fiscal federalism is basically government taking majority decisions and distributing the decision making power between the center government and the state government. That is fiscal federalism. Now moving on. Concept. Concept. Private goods. It yields. Yields means provides. Utility. Utility means want satisfaction power. It satisfies wants of people who purchase them. Who purchase them. Who purchase them. Who purchase them. Suppose I'm writing with this pen. So this pen is satisfying my want because I have purchased this pen. This pen is satisfying my want because I have purchased this pen. Its utility to people who purchase them. 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 This is private goods. Everybody, this is private goods. Its utility to people who purchase them. Its utility to people who purchase them. That is private good. Sir, what is public good now? So the question is, sir, what is public good now? Sir, the question is now, what is public good, sir? The question is, sir, what is public good? So friends, public good is which all people enjoy in common. goods which all people enjoy in common. Goods which all people enjoy in common. Is this clear, everyone? Can I move on to the next point, everybody? Second point is some examples of it. Examples: food, food items, clothing, mobile phones, cars. Here it is defense, education. Here it is defense, education, highways, highways, law enforcement, etc. Defense, education, highways, law enforcement, etc. These are the example. Shall I move on to the third one, everybody? Consideration. Consideration. So now, friends, you have to purchase them. One has to purchase them. For private goods, one has to purchase. One has to purchase the private goods directly. Matlab, suppose one has to purchase the private goods directly. Suppose in order to teach you, I needed this microphone. Now, if I needed this microphone, I had to go to that shop and order this microphone. Understood? That is called consideration. But in the case of public goods, there is no direct payment. There is no direct payment. No direct payment. No direct payment for public goods. Sir, what does that mean? Suppose you are paying tax, I am paying tax, your parents are paying tax. We are using roads, railways, and bridges. But directly when road is being built, I am not paying money. I am just contributing money to the tax of the government, and then government is deciding what to do with that money. So there is no direct one-to-one relation. Here there is one-to-one relation. In the case of private good, suppose I pay 5,000, I get this microphone. So there is a one-to-one relation. But in tax, if I pay 5,000, I don't know what benefit I am receiving, but certainly I am receiving some benefit indirectly. Do you understand that, friends? Yes or no? So payment is involved in both. In the private good, it is direct, and in the other case, it is indirect. That's the only difference. Come on, everybody. It's clear, I hope. Come on, everyone. Now let's talk about the fourth point, value slash benefit. Value slash benefit. Value slash benefit. It gives benefit to people individually. Private goods benefit individuals. Yields utility to people. Yields utility to people. Yields utility to people individually. Yields utility to people individually. And this one yields utility to people collectively. Public goods yields utility to people collectively. 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 I hope you all get it. Yes or no? Come on, everybody. Its utility to people individually, its utility to people collectively. Very good. Now, this is value slash benefit. Next, simultaneous consumption means more than one person consuming the good. Simultaneous means more than one person at a time. Simultaneous consumption simultaneous consumption simultaneous consumption simultaneous consumption. Now, impossible. Sir, what does it mean? Friends, when I am, everyone listen carefully, when I am using this microphone, somebody else using this microphone with me is impossible. But Indian Army, that is the basically, or the defense system of India, that is under public goods, it is protecting me, but at the same time, it is protecting you all. It is protecting everybody else in our country. That is what I'm saying, that simultaneous enjoyment of public goods is possible, but not so in the case of private goods. Understood? Possible. Example, defense. Example, defense. Understood, not understood, everyone? Please confirm me the same. Yes or no, everybody? Please confirm me the same. Yes or no, everyone? Let's focus further, sir. Finally, next point, or rather, it is excludable versus non-excludable. It is excludable versus non-excludable. Excludable versus non-excludable. Excludable versus non-excludable. So what is excludable? What is non-excludable? Please pay attention. Excludable means in case of private goods, it's excludable. So if somebody has not paid for a private good, you will not sell the commodity to that person. Suppose I'm wearing a shirt. Why? I have paid for this shirt. Now, if somebody has not paid for this shirt, they will not be allowed to take this shirt from the mall. Suppose I go to a mall, I buy this shirt. How? By paying for it. Somebody, person X, Mr. X, goes to the mall, takes this shirt and starts coming outside without paying for it. Will he or she be allowed? Definitely not. So it is excludable. Private goods are excludable. But this is non-excludable. Suppose in India, some people are paying tax, some people are not paying tax. But the Indian army, the Indian defense is protecting everyone. So in public goods, you cannot say that, okay, you have not paid tax. So if the enemy attacks, if China attacks or Pakistan attacks, we will send you with them. We will not tell this, na? Even to the non-taxpayers. Yes or no? That is non-excludable. Means everyone will get the protection immaterial, whether they have paid for it directly, indirectly, or not. Even if they haven't paid, even if there is somebody who makes no income, suppose somebody is a beggar on the streets, even that person is getting protection from the enemy, from our armed forces. That is non-excludable. This is what I mean when I say public goods are non-excludable. I am sure this has clarified what is public and what is, private goods. I'm sure. Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Come on. There is one more thing, one more difference, then we will move on. Yes, sir, it's clear. It's clear. Now we tell you next point, rivalrous versus non-rivalrous. Rivalrous versus non-rival. Rivalrous versus non-rival. Rivalrous versus non-rival. Here it is rivalrous. Sir, what does it mean, rivalrous? Suppose there are 10 pens available in a pen shop. 10 pens available at a pen shop. I repeat my statement. There are 10 pens available at a pen shop. I go and buy one pen. I go and buy one pen. There are 10 pens available at a pen shop. I go and buy one pen. 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 Now what happens, sir? Now, sir, what happens, sir? Now, sir, what happens, sir? Now, sir, what happens, sir? So everyone, what happens is, here it is rivalrous. When I say rivalrous, what does it mean? Everybody, when I say it's rivalrous, what does it mean? Rivalrous means there is rivalry going on. Rivalrous means there is rivalry going on. Rivalrous means there is rivalry going on. If I have purchased one pen, then other person may not be able to purchase it because there were only 10 units left. But here it is non-rivalrous. Here it is non-rivalrous. Just because I have used a road, that doesn't mean that you cannot use that road to walk on or to jog on. You can use that to travel by. You can use that road. So it is non-rivalrous. Friends, is that clear? Yes or no? Come on. Come on, everyone. Yes or no? All right. So now let's make a matrix of rivalrous and excludability. Let's make a matrix. Okay. So here I write whether the goods are excludable. Excludable means if somebody does not pay, you can stop them from enjoying that commodity. And here it is non-excludable, that even if somebody is not paying, you still have to allow them to consume that. Got it? Next, rivalrous. Rivalrous means if one person consumes, other person's consumption reduces. Rivalrous means what? Rivalrous means कि अगर मैंने कंज्यूम कर लिया तो वो आपको नहीं मिलेगा. Let's assume that there is only one pen in the market. If I purchase it, will you get it? No, that is rivalrous. Got it now? Rivalrous का मतलब अगर एक को मिल गया तो दूसरे को नहीं मिलेगा. If one gets the commodity, the other will not be allowed to get that commodity because commodity is only scarce. Hopefully it's clear. So here, everyone, rivalrous and excludable. Example is food, clothing, cars. It is rivalrous because if you get a packet of food, somebody else won't be able to enjoy that packet. So food is rivalrous and excludable. Cloth. If I buy this piece of cloth, one stock is reduced. So nobody can buy this piece. Similarly for cars. Now we talk about rivalrous, but not excludable. Rivalrous means there will be, and excludable. Why these are excludable? Because for food you have to pay. If you don't pay, you will not get. But non-excludable means even if you don't pay, you will get. Like example, fish, forest resources. Yes, it is rivalrous because there is limited fish in the ocean. So if one takes up many fishes, someone will not get. So yes, it is rivalrous as well as non-excludable. Is that clear, everyone? Now, something which is excludable, that is, if you don't pay, you will not be allowed. But non-rivalrous means many can enjoy. Non-rivalrous means many can enjoy. Cinema, club. If you pay for that club, you can enjoy. But at the same time, others can also enjoy that cinema. Condition is you will have to pay. So it is non-rivalrous. And finally, that is non-rivalrous and non-excludable. Means neither you will have to pay nor you have to compete with others to get that commodity. Sir, what is it? Example, national defense, knowledge, national defense, knowledge. So if I am teaching and this lecture will be uploaded in ICAI website, so nobody is having to pay for this lecture. So non-excludable. At the same time, non-rivalrous. It means just because your friend has understood this topic doesn't mean that now you will not understand this topic. So it's also non-rivalrous. I hope it's clear. All of you make this matrix immediately. Make this matrix immediately. Now, friends, now we will talk about under the goods only. We will talk about under the public goods category only. We will talk about a problem which is called free rider problem. Free rider problem. Free rider problem. What is it called, everyone? Free rider problem. Free rider problem. So, sir, what is free rider problem? Sir, what is free rider problem? Friends, free rider problem means when you are able to enjoy some benefit without paying for it. For example, I don't suppose somebody doesn't pay tax. कोई टैक्स नहीं देता है, कोई टैक्स नहीं देता है, पर मुफ्त में सारी फैसिलिटीज एंजॉय कर रहा है, जैसे रोड्स, ब्रिजेस, रेलवे, सब कुछ एंजॉय कर रहा है वो, उसको बोलते हैं फ्री राइडर। ऐसे इंसान को फ्री राइडर बोलते हैं। जो सोसाइटी में कुछ पे नहीं कर रहा है बट सोसाइटी की सारी गुड्स को एंजॉय कर रहा है, आई मीन पब्लिक गुड्स को एंजॉय कर रहा है। सो फ्री राइडिंग, free riding is benefiting, free riding is benefiting from actions of others without paying. So somebody who is enjoying something without paying a penny for it, that person is a free rider. Now, impact or outcome of free riding, outcomes and effects. Guys, you all try to understand. If everybody thinks of becoming a free rider, then there will be no public goods available. You think? Think. If some people are not paying taxes, it means there are people who are paying more taxes to counterbalance the impact of free riders. But if all of the people think that no, I will not pay taxes, but I will enjoy, then how will the government build bridges? How will the government create infrastructure? So there will be no public goods available, only private goods. Then individuals will have to pay to walk on roads. Individuals have to pay to, play in the park. Why? Because nobody will be willing to do anything for free. Is that clear, everyone? Yes, sir, understood. So the outcome of free riding will be there will be no public goods available in markets. No public goods will be available, or no public goods will be available, number one, or private markets will underproduce public goods. Private markets will underproduce public goods. Private markets will underproduce public goods. Will underproduce public goods. Private markets will underproduce public goods. Private markets will underproduce public goods. Why? Because private markets, public goods would mean free goods. Public would mean free goods. So why will private market try to provide more free goods? They will provide less free goods. So there will be underproduction. Why? Because private markets know that nobody is willing to pay. So why do so much? Understood? Friends, suppose what it is actually true. Yesterday was Saraswati Puja. Now suppose you are staying in a complex. This is your complex. There are 100 apartments or 100 flats in your complex. So you ask each one of them to pay, let's say around 5,000 or let's say 500 or 5,000 each, so that a grand occasion can be done. But if they say no, we will not pay, then what will you do? You will keep a small function, bus, where only your guests will be invited. This is what exactly underproduction is. When people want to enjoy for free, then there will be underproduction. Is that clear? So that is the problem of free riding. Is that clear, everyone? Yes or no? Come on. Finally, friends, we talk about incomplete information, the last topic, because you see, I had told you the causes of market failure are being divided into four parts, if you remember. So I have done the first two and the third one as well. Now, incomplete information. Incomplete information. Incomplete information. So, friends, under incomplete information, there are three things. Number one, there is asymmetric information. There is asymmetric information. Number one, there is asymmetric information. Number one, there is asymmetric information. Number two, there is adverse selection. Adverse selection. Moral hazard. Lastly, moral hazard. All right, let's go. Let's go. So now we talk about each one of them. The point is incomplete information. Under this, there are three categories: asymmetric information, adverse selection, and moral hazard. Again, asymmetric information, adverse selection, and moral hazard. Asymmetric information, adverse selection, and moral hazard. Is that clear? Yes, sir, it's clear. Asymmetric information. Asymmetric information. Asymmetric information. It occurs. It occurs. It occurs when there is imbalance in information. It occurs when there is imbalance in information between buyer and seller. What is asymmetric information? When either buyer knows more than the seller or the seller knows more than the buyer. It occurs when there is imbalance in information between buyer and seller. It occurs when there is imbalance in information between buyer and seller. Moving on. It occurs when there is imbalance in information between buyer and seller. It occurs when there is imbalance in information between buyer and seller. Okay. Yes, sir. It's clear. Now, there are two cases here. Number one, buyer knows more than seller. Case A, buyer knows more than seller. Buyer knows more than seller. Case A, buyer knows more than seller. Sir, can you give an example? Let me ask you this time. Can you give me an example? If you are able to give an example, then I will request institute to give you some prize. But first you give me the example. In the case of loans, it happens. If I am taking a loan from a bank, then about my ability to repay that loan, I, the borrower, know more than the provider, the bank, about my ability to repay that loan. I repeat, sir. अगर मैं एक बैंक से लोन ले रहा हूं, मैं यानी कि बोरोवर, सप्लायर यानी कि प्रोवाइडर यानी कि बैंक से ज्यादा जानता है इस बारे में कि मैं लोन प्रोवाइड चुका पाऊंगा कि नहीं चुका पाऊंगा. समझ में आया? नहीं समझ में आया? यस. borrower knows more about borrower knows more about their ability to repay the loan. B, when the seller knows more about than the borrower, when the seller knows more than the borrower, when the seller knows more than the borrower. Example, suppose friends, you are selling your used car. You are deciding to sell your used car. What? Used. You are deciding to sell your used car. ठीक है? अरे भाई, if you decide to sell your used car, if you decide to sell your used car, if you decide to sell your used car, you as a seller know more about the car than the buyer. This is called information asymmetry. Seller of used car know more about the car. Seller of used car knows more about the car. Seller of used car knows more about the car than the buyer, of obviously. This is also called, you know what? Lemon's problem. Lemon's problem. Is that clear, everyone? Right. So when the seller knows more than the buyer, that's cool. Perfect. C is okay. No, asymmetric is over. So friends, I told you incomplete information is divided into three parts: asymmetric information, adverse selection, moral hazard. So first one I have done asymmetric information. Second one is adverse selection. Acha. Let's go ahead and see what it is all about. Adverse selection. Adverse selection. Adverse selection. So now everyone pay attention. Adverse selection is next step of asymmetric information. Adverse selection is next step of asymmetric information. Friends, you all tell me, if the information is asymmetric, the decision will be correct or adverse? The decision, chances of decision are correct or adverse? You tell me. If there is information asymmetry, the chances of decision making are good or bad? Obviously bad, because there is information asymmetry. That is what is adverse selection. So it is a situation, I'll write it down. It is a situation in which asymmetric information about quality eliminates high quality goods from the market. 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 Eliminates high quality good from the market. It is a situation in which asymmetric information about quality eliminates high quality good from the market. Eliminates good quality products from the market. Good quality products from the market. Good quality eliminate good quality products from market. Next, this is adverse selection. This is adverse selection. Third point. Everybody, third point. Third point. It is moral hazard. Moral hazard. Moral hazards. Moral hazards. What is moral hazard? It occurs when individuals know about his or her actions more than other people. When an individual knows more about his or her actions than other people. Sir, we did not understand. I'll tell you. Suppose you have taken insurance, medical insurance. You suppose now pay attention, everyone. I'll explain the three in Hindi also. मैं ना तीनों को हिंदी में भी बोलूंगा, उसका चिंता मत कीजिए. Pay attention, everyone. It occurs when individuals know about his or her action more than other people. I'll give you an example. You take medical insurance. Now, once you've taken the insurance, you are relatively secured that, okay, now whatever my medical bill is, insurance company is going to cover that, right? Now, you will care less whether the doctor, the healthcare providers, the hospital is charging more or less from you for that product. You will not care about that. Why you will not care about that? Because you are insured. So you know more about yourself than the other persons do. The insurance company doesn't know how you will behave. So this is moral hazard. Insured consumers don't care if hospital or the doctor overcharges them. If the hospital or the doctor overcharges them. Friends, that is moral hazard. Friends, that is moral hazard. Friends, that is moral hazard. Hopefully it's crystal clear. So it occurs when individuals know about his or her actions more than other people. Now, sir, in Hindi, explain all the three once more. ठीक है, मैं explain करता हूं. पहला asymmetric information. ये इंफॉर्मेशन फेलियर का वो सिचुएशन है जहां बायर को सेलर से ज्यादा मालूम है या सेलर को बायर से ज्यादा मालूम है. ठीक है. इसकी वजह से काफी बार क्या होता है, एडवर्स सिलेक्शन हो जाता है, जिसका मतलब है मार्केट से अच्छे गुड्स बाहर हो जाते हैं और फालतू गुड्स रह जाते हैं मार्केट के अंदर. और तीसरी बात मॉरल हजार्ड. तीसरी बात मॉरल हजार्ड. मॉरल हजार्ड का मतलब होता है जब इंडिविजुअल्स को अपने एक्शंस के बारे में औरों से ज्यादा मालूम है. मॉरल हजार्ड तब होता है जब इंडिविजुअल्स को अपने एक्शन के बारे में औरों से ज्यादा पता होता है. इन मॉरल हजार्ड का एग्जांपल, इन शॉर्ट कंज्यूमर्स को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि हॉस्पिटल या डॉक्टर उनसे ज्यादा चार्ज कर रहा है. दैट इज अ मॉरल हजार्ड. Friends, there is one more category which I will like to explain you. That is impure public goods. Impure public goods. Impure public goods. Put the heading. Friends, in reality, there is nothing called pure public goods. So, what are impure public goods? Your question would be, sir, ये क्या होता है? What are impure public goods? What are impure public goods? You will answer the one that possesses features of both public and private good. The one that possesses features features of both, the one that possesses features of both public and private goods. The one that possesses features of both public and private goods. Now I'll give you an example. Suppose we talk about law and order, courts, or government hospital. These are public goods. Yes or no? Courts, Supreme Court, High Court. These are public goods. Yes or no? First tell me yes or no. Sir, first tell me yes or no. Please tell me yes or no. Then I'll proceed further. Or I'll give you an example. Now, friends, what I say is, suppose if a case is going on of one individual, going on of Mrs. X, suppose, that time Mr. Y cannot use for fighting his case. Or suppose the hospital, government hospital, one bed is used by patient A, then of course that bed at that moment of time patient B cannot enjoy. So there is like a rivalrous nature going on, despite the fact that we have studied that public goods are, I'll show you. See, we have seen that public goods are non-excludable and non-rivalrous. Still here we see that they are not completely non-rivalrous. That is why we are saying impure. Impure means not completely. Impure means not completely non-rivalrous and non-excludable. Not completely non-rivalrous and non-excludable. Not completely non-rivalrous and non-excludable. मतलब completely नहीं हो ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं. That is why impure public goods. Now in Hindi, sir, impure public goods क्या है? वो goods जिनमें पब्लिक और प्राइवेट दोनों का फीचर होता है. रियल लाइफ में पूरी तरह से कोई गुड्स पब्लिक हो ऐसा होता ही नहीं है, क्योंकि मैंने आपको लिखा रखा है कि पब्लिक गुड्स नॉन एक्सक्लूडेबल और नॉन राइवलरस होता है. दुख बोलो सुख बोलो कुछ भी बोलो, बट रियल लाइफ में ऐसा कोई एग्जांपल है ही नहीं. हर गुड्स में पब्लिक और प्राइवेट दोनों का कैरेक्टर है. अब जैसे देखो ना, कोर्ट्स और गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल, आपके हिसाब से ये सब है तो पब्लिक गुड्स, बट जब एक जन कोर्ट में केस लड़ रहा है उस मोमेंट पे किसी और का केस हो नहीं सकता. और फाइनली गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल में भी कोई अगर एक जन बेड पे है, गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल है, पब्लिक गुड है, वो बेड तो कोई और को नहीं मिल सकता ना. तो थोड़ा तो राइवलरी यहां पर भी है ही. तो नॉन राइवलरस कहां से हुआ? यही बोलने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि पब्लिक गुड्स भी पूरी तरह से नॉन राइवलरस या नॉन एक्सक्लूडेबल नहीं होते. रेलवेज के लिए भी तो आपको पैसा देना पड़ेगा ना. ट्रेन में सफर करना है तो पैसा तो देना पड़ेगा ना. ट्रेन पब्लिक गुड है, गवर्नमेंट का है, मानते हैं. बस जो स्टेट बस होता है गवर्नमेंट का है, पब्लिक गुड है, मानते हैं, बट उसके लिए भी तो पैसा तो लगेगा ही ना. तो वो नॉन एक्सक्लूडेबल हुआ क्या? पूरी तरह से नॉन एक्सक्लूडेबल होता तो पैसा लगता ही नहीं. बट जो पैसा देगा वो बस में चढ़ेगा या ट्रेन में चढ़ेगा. I hope you understand. So there is nothing called pure public goods. All the goods are impure public goods. Friends, this is over. This topic, which was market failure, is also finally over. Read the institute book properly. Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.